painting today, but I'm not really sure what, but I thought it might be kind of fun to bring you along how I develop some sort of a sketchbook exercise. If you want to follow along, spritz your watercolors. And the only little bit of an idea I have is kind of wanting to replicate one of those like groovy, wavy patterns from the 70s. So I'm gonna grab my biggest brush. You get a lot of thick and thin lines. I'm gonna mix up a couple colors. How about a yellow, a red, and some sort of a green. I'm gonna fill my brush with any of the colors I just mixed, and I'm going to place the brush down, lightly touch, and then push down while also sweeping across the page in some sort of a squiggle. While it's still wet, I'm going to replace the color in my brush, and I'm going to come on either side of this. I'm trying to vary the weight of my strokes so that some of them are thinner and some of them are thicker. Some areas it's going to touch, other areas it's not. I'm going to keep switching between these different colors and repeating that same general principle. This is not looking as groovy as I wanted it to. More funky, but not really in the fun kind of funky way. And when you do something that you don't love in your sketchbook, there are lots of options on what you can do. You can just leave it because in reality, it's not that big of a deal. Once it's dry, you can just close your sketchbook and you're not really going to ever see it again. The second option, and often the most tempting, is to give up and throw it away. But there is another option, and I'm going to try to do it, and I encourage you to try to do it the next time you get to a stage like this. We're going to take a step back and see if there's a different direction that whatever we just created might be better for. Also, when you get to this point, it's not a bad idea to literally walk away. Maybe go get yourself a snack. I stepped away, grabbed a bit of a snack. Let's reevaluate this. Maybe trying some different angles. Do you think I have an idea? I'm getting some sort of kind of sunset vibes, but also plants and maybe flowers. I'm gonna take a much smaller brush and I'm gonna fill my brush up with some green. And then in that bottom green band, I'm gonna start making little kind of leaf shapes, kind of like the bottom of a tulip. I think also occasionally I'm just going to flick my brush. Occasionally I'm gonna make a little stalk for a flower. So I'm gonna have it stop either in the yellow or red. I'm gonna wash my brush and then I'm gonna fill it with some red. And any of those stalks that I pulled up into the red, I'm gonna make kind of a tulip inspired shape. Then I'm going to wash my brush and fill it with some yellow, and any of the stalks that land in the yellow, I'm going to make a little squiggle of some brighter and more saturated yellow. This is looking better. It still looks a little goofy. However, I think I have an idea that might improve it, but it's going to require letting it dry or making it dry. I think the white gel pen might save the day. I'm going to treat this kind of similar to those animal series where I outline different things, and that's going to give it a little more definition, and it's also going to help certain parts of it kind of pop out from the background. There's still one part of this that's kind of bugging me, and that's this area where everything bled together to make some not so pretty colors. I think I'm just going to add a bit of line work in there to lighten it up a bit and kind of distract from it. All right, is this my favorite thing I've ever painted? Absolutely not. However, I really like it. There's something about it that screams like spring musical to me. And without the failure, I really don't think I could have ever come up with something like this.